So we have got our yoga for frazzled minds. Don't know who thought that would be appropriate at this stage, although actually it's even more so maybe at the minute. So we're sort of thinking a chilled one, but actually we've got a little bit of movement in as well tonight, because sometimes it's that repetitive movement and breath to movement that takes away from what's going on around us and brings us into the present moment and onto our mats. So we have got a little bit of flow, but nothing too strong, nothing too challenging. It's just more of that rhythm, a little bit of balance, and then we take some slower holds at the end. All right, so if you're using the playlist or your own music, you can pop that on. And we're going to begin in a child's pose, unless you would like to take any other position that you find more comfortable, more restful. And feel free to take it. You'll just have a change of position afterwards. But find your child's pose, or alternative, make it nice and comfy, take the knees nice and wide, and really lengthen yourself along the mat. If you've been hunched up or busy, just take this chance to lengthen the spine. Settle yourself in. Allow the body to land. And sometimes you fall onto your mat, you get into child's pose, and you're just immediately there. You connect with your breath, the mind slows down. And sometimes it needs a little bit of help. So just spend a moment noticing how you're feeling. And if there's anything you can do to assist either physically or mentally your arrival onto the mat. And I always guide you through this bit, but really your transition into your practice can always be your own. If you want to breathe deeply and sigh it out, or make movements, then always feel free to take them. And then we begin to draw the awareness inwards. Noticing the physical body first of all. Any sensations where you feel ease or tightness. And then come inwards further, notice the breath. Even without changing the breath at all, the body's just breathing on its own. You can observe, you can notice where you feel the breath, where your body moves with each breath. And start to find a slightly deeper breath. Expand where feels most obvious to expand as you breathe in, whether that's the back body or through the belly and the chest. Releasing it as you breathe out. Now, if you're comfortable in your child's pose, you want to stay there for a few more breaths, you are welcome to. The progression on from it that we offer to you tonight is just to lift the head and bring hands to prayer position. So you can settle the thumbs into the space between the eyebrows. Just giving yourself a little bit of pressure onto that third eye point. Now you may hook the thumbs in a little bit, that might be too uncomfortable. You may just press them a little bit higher, just sort of above where the eyebrows would be. Find somewhere that feels comfortable, keep the eyes closed. And take a few more breaths here. All right, and then release the hands. Start to lift yourself up. We're coming towards a kneeling position, towards the back of your mat. So you can keep the knees a little bit wider, but bring the hands down in front, so not coming all the way up. If this isn't comfortable for you to kneel, you can always sit cross-legged and take the same movements. So we're going to cat and cow here. So with an inhale, drop the body in, draw the heart through between the upper arms. And then as you breathe out, tuck chin to chest and round through the spine. Press the body back. And keep it with your breath. So come forward on the inhale and round on the exhale. So you stay with your own breath. Take this at a speed and a degree of movement that works for you. That's it. Maybe got one more forward and back. And then from there, sit yourself all the way back onto the heels, or you're in your cross-legged position. We're taking a few twists. Turn to your right, left hand comes over to the right knee, fingertips behind. Depending on length of body, you may need to just lean back slightly, or you may be quite nice and upright. Draw that right shoulder back. Find a little twist through the spine. And then take it the other way. Spin yourself round, right hand to left knee. Breathe in as you lengthen. Move into that twist. And then one more, each side, turning back to the right, easy twist. And the same round to the left. And coming back to center, just taking the hands behind the back, clasping the fists. Draw the fist away, open the chest, sit nice and tall, roll the shoulders back, pin the shoulder blades together. And then just a tiny bit longer on the knees. You can spin off them if you need to. Just warm the hands together, create lots of heat between the palms of the hands. When you've generated that heat, just cup the hands over the eyes, create some darkness as well as that heat. Taking 2 more breaths. And then from there, you can release the hands. Come back towards all fours. Find your tabletop and move into that more traditional cat and cow, breathing in as you drop the belly. And breathing out to round through the spine. So with all these movements tonight, take them at your own speed. Tune into your body. Okay, finish that round off wherever you are. And come back to your tabletop position. All right, we're going to take a few of these alternating legs. So right foot back, toes on the mat. Just press back through the heel. And then bring that right knee in, swap it over, left foot back, press it back. So we're going to try and match this to the breath. You'll find your own rhythm, but it's going to be your inhale is as you step the knee in and replace the other foot. Your exhale is going to be your push back through the heel and then the pull back forward. So you'll inhale to swap, exhale to press back and come forward. So be your own rhythm. And it might be slower. You may find a faster pace. But just be conscious of matching it breath to movement. That's it. Take one more on each side. And then when you've taken that next stretch out, just come into a downward dog. Find your downward dog, pedal out the legs. That's it. Take some easy breaths. My playlist was on shuffle, so if I end up on the wrong song to you at the end, that'll be why it is. All right, from your downward dog, we'll pick up this as a nice easy flow. Take it slowly to begin with. Drop the knees down to the mat. Just take an inhale as you lift into cow pose. And then drop the hips back towards the heels, keeping the knees together, finding that child's pose. And then from here, we sweep the hands towards us, start to lift up, come right up onto the knees, sweep the arms wide and gaze up towards the thumbs. And then using your core to control as you hinge yourself forward, wing the arms back, bring the forehead towards the mat, doesn't have to touch down. And then replace the hands to the mat. Take an inhale, cow pose again. Tuck the toes, return to your downward dog. That's it. So moving nice and easily with the breath. Drop the knees down, inhale to cow. Exhale, child's pose, release your toes. One big breath in to sweep the arms up. Lift high onto the knees. Exhale, hinge and bow forward. Come forward, inhale, cow pose. Tucking your toes as you move, and then exhale, downward dog. We've got a couple more, breath to movement. Drop the knees, inhale, cow. Exhale, child's pose. Sweep the arms high, inhale, lift. Exhale, bow. Cow pose on your inhale, tuck the toes. Downward dog. One more, keep it flowing, cow pose. Child's pose. Lifting up as you breathe in. Bowing it forward. Once more into cow pose. And then downward dog. From there, come forward into your high plank. Lengthen out, press the earth away. We're going to drop the knees first, keep it nice and easy. Take a breath in. And then breathe out as you lower all the way down. Just simple cobras to begin with. Yours might be nice and little. Only go as high as you want to. Breathing in, lift the heart. And breathing out, roll back down. You've got a few to take on your own, so match them breath to movement. Lovely, one more. And then when you next come down, take those hands wider, lift the elbows, ready for wide cobra. Breathe into lift, hold at the top. We're dropping the shoulders in, so right shoulder drops, gaze back over the left arm. Lift it back to center. Drop the left shoulder as you breathe out. Lovely, pick it back up. One more each side. Lifting back up and then rolling all the way back down to the mat. Hands underneath shoulders, push back through all fours. Tuck the toes, downward dog. All right. Taking your right leg up as you breathe in, lift it as high as you can and then bend at the knees, stack the hips. Lift your right knee towards the sky and squeeze your right foot back towards the hips. And then you're straightening out the right leg. Take an inhale. Bring it through, knee towards nose as you exhale. From there, just step back into high plank. So we're keeping it nice and controlled. Take the hips high again, downward dog. Just with a straight leg this time. Right leg lifts as you inhale. Knee towards nose. And then this time, drop the knee down to the floor, spin that right foot out and find your side plank. So left arm lifts, squeeze the hips forward. You might have flat hand or tented fingers with that right hand. Take some circles with that top out, arm, a couple one way, a couple the other. And then drop the left fingers behind the head and just open the chest. So lean back into that left hand. And then release back nice and slowly, spinning back round, stepping back, returning through a downward dog. Couple of breaths, pedal the legs. Taking just the same on the other side, so left leg lifting as you breathe in, take that leg high. And then bend at the knees, stack the hips. There, straighten the leg back out, take an inhale. Knee towards nose, and then step it back, high plank, keeping everything else nice and still. Hips high and back, downward dog. Just the same with the left leg, inhale to lift. And then straight forward, knee to nose. This time placing the left knee down on the mat underneath you, spin out onto that left hand, left knee, find your side plank. So when you get there, two big circles one way, two big circles the other. And when you've made your circles, drop the right hand back behind the head, lean back into it, open the chest. Keep squeezing hips forward. Lovely. Slowly bring yourself back round. Take it back, downward dog. And then we're going to walk to the top of our mat. So look towards your hands, lift up onto your toes, take lots of little steps forward. So just hanging out in your forward fold for a few breaths. Let the knees be a little bit bent. Let the body hang forward. Maybe sway it out if that feels nice. Nice and easy. All right, take a halfway lift, draw the fingertips up the shins, flatten out the spine. So draw the shoulders down the back. Crown of the head reaches one way, tailbone reaches the other. Find length in the spine because we come back to this point. And then drop hands to the floor, step the right foot back, soften knee down to the mat. Taking these a little bit slower, sweep the arms up, find your crescent lunge, sink into it. Take what the body needs here. If it needs a real big hip stretch, let yourself collapse into the hips. If you need a little bit more energy, then slide the knees back towards each other and reach through fingertips. And then we're taking a revolved lunge. So bring the hands down either side of the left foot. Keep your right hand planted. Left hand spirals open. More opening into the chest here. So press into the underneath arms, spiral the body. Might need to just inch the left foot slightly wider. And then we are revolving our lunge entirely. So getting higher on the right fingers. And then taking that left hand back, reaching the right hand forward. Full revolved lunge. And then from your revolved lunge, we will do this later with the knees up. So to get a feel for the movement, we're just going straight back to our open twisted lunge. That right hand comes back down, left hand reaches up. Yeah, take an inhale. Hand comes down as you exhale. Pick up your back knee. Step forward, top of the mat, forward fold. Couple of breaths, hanging out there. Just the same, other side, halfway lift, find length through the spine. Step your left foot back, knee to the mat. Pick up the body, find your crescent lunge. Drop into it where you need to. But soften shoulders down wherever you are, drop them away from the ears. So finding that open revolved lunge first, bring the hands down to the floor, keep your left hand planted, right arm spirals up. Opening through the chest. And then finding that picked up twisted lunge. So lifting onto left fingers, take the right hand back, left hand forward. Hips are staying as level as you can. The twist is coming from the waist all the way up. A couple of breaths. And then find your way back down into that revolved lunge. Lovely, one big inhale. Hand comes down as you exhale. Pick up your back knee, but step back into high plank from here. Take an inhale. Knees or toes, lower yourself down. Just one breath into a cobra. And then press back through all fours, but sitting back, hips to heels. Little breather here. So take your eagle arms, left arm under right. Hands together or hands to the shoulders. Lift the elbows. And then release the arms, shake them back out. Take the other way, right arm under left. Breathing into the back of the body. Lovely, release the hands. Come back through all fours, tuck your toes, downward dog. And again, on those tippy toes, walk your way back to the top of the mat, forward fold. All right, from there, unravel yourself to stand nice and slowly. All the way to the top. So for this next little sequence, we're going to take and keep hands behind the back. With the arms extended. So if you find that a difficult position to be in, they don't have to lift away from the body, but if you find it difficult to extend the hands, you can keep them at the heart when we get to that point. It's just you'll be in a slightly different position all the way through, but you can do just the same with hands at the heart if you prefer. All right, so sweep the arms up, take an inhale. Drop into your chair pose as you exhale. It doesn't have to be too deep. Keep the low belly drawing in and tailbone long. And then this is where you pick up either to take the hands behind the back so that you can open the chest. If that's not comfortable, bring hands to heart center. So take a breath in and then fold yourself forward as you breathe out. So if your hands are behind the back, they can lift away. If hands are at the heart, you'll just be forward. All right, come up halfway. Find that flat back, hands either behind or at the heart. And you need to lift so that you're level with the floor. Bring awareness into your left foot. Start to pick up the right foot. And then extend that right leg back. So you end up in a sort of warrior three. You might be here. That's it. A little bit of balance. From wherever you are, start to stand up. Pick that right knee up in front of you. Hands maybe behind or in front. Whoop, and then step it back into crescent lunge. So again, here or here. Lovely. Step it forward, top of the mat. Just the same, other leg. Take an inhale, sweep up. Chair pose first of all. So you know where you are with your hands now. You can do it either way. So take your option, hands to heart or hands behind the back. Breathe in there. Fold yourself forward as you breathe out. Start to lift up, find that flat back. Crown of head reaching forward. Awareness into the right foot as you pick up the left heel and then extend the left leg behind. So it's nothing too tough, but we're trying to keep the focus on what we're doing. Start to stand, pick up your left knee. And then send that left foot back, finishing in crescent lunge with your legs. Hearts lifting either into the thumbs or with your hands drawing back. Lovely, step it back forward, top of the mat. Just the same to start, and then we will add on. Release the hands, take an inhale to sweep up. Chair pose as you exhale. Hands to heart or round the back. Take the inhale. Fold it forward as you exhale. Come up halfway. Awareness into the left foot. Start to pick up the right heel. Extend the right foot back behind you. Start to stand tall, picking up your right knee. And then float the right foot back, crescent lunge with the legs. Lift the heart. When you land there this time, release the hands from wherever they are. Take full crescent lunge. And then keeping the arms above the head, straighten both legs. So that front leg straightens. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, bend back into the leg and open the arms wide to the side. Yeah, so float with your breath. Inhale to stand tall. Exhale to bend and open the arms. Twice more. That's it. All right, when you land down this time, stay bent into that left knee. We're going to twist to the left, just like we did with our low lunge, but you end up in that twisted position. Draw the left hand back as far as you feel able to. Keep pressing into the feet, reach the right hand forward. And then from there, you're dropping the right hand down, lifting the left hand up and finding your revolved lunge. So just the same as we did before, but with the knees lifted. Take a couple of breaths. And then drop the left hand back down, move through your runner's lunge, level off to your mat. Step forward into your forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Bring hands to heart center. Take a couple of breaths. Just the same, second side, then we slow it right down. So big inhale, sweep the arms up. Take your chair pose to begin. So lots of focus on these movements, be consciously moving between them, hands to heart or behind the back. Lift the heart as you breathe in and fold forward as you breathe out. And pick yourself up halfway. Little bend into the right leg. You're going to start picking the left foot up, floating it back when you're ready. Then standing up, lift the left knee through. And then float it back. Crescent lunge with the legs. When you land this time, you're releasing the hands, sweeping them up, finding your full crescent. And then straighten the legs. So you'll need to be on train track so you can keep that balance. Take the inhale. As you exhale, bend into the front leg, open the arms wide. Yeah, 3 more breath to movement, so connect with your breath. Last one. And when you drop down this time, we're staying into that bent right knee. Hips stay nice and level. Spiral yourself to face the right. Reach the hands forward and back. And then moving nice and slowly, you're dropping left hand down, right hand up to find that revolved lunge, but with the knee lifted. That's it, left hand down. Open the chest, couple of breaths. Hand comes down. Step it back from there into your downward dog. All right, so bringing that right knee forward, we're dropping into pigeon pose. Of course, take that left knee back. Find your way there. Now you are welcome to flop forward. If you want to take that prayer position that we did at the start so that you can drop thumbs into eyebrow, or rest hands, cup the hands over the eyes, give yourself that sense of darkness and rest for the eyes, either option. And then connect back with your breath. In a sense of the strength of the breath, but also the sense of softness that it brings. We have a few more breaths here. If you took the thumbs to eyebrow and you want to cover the eyes for the last few breaths, you can. And then you're releasing the hands back to the earth, picking yourself up. Move nice and slowly as you inch forward. Take it back through an easy downward dog. Any movements you want in your down dog before bringing the left knee forward, taking pigeon on the other side. Drop yourself forward. Again, option to take prayer position with the hands, or if that pressure now is a bit too much, keep this one as just hands over the eyes. Not forgetting to connect with your breath. Nice and easy to switch off with the eyes covered. So keep the focus back with your breath, sending it into the left hip. few more breaths here. Either releasing the hands or picking back up from where you are. Lift up nice and slowly. This time we're just dropping onto the left hip, spinning the legs round. We're taking a forward fold of your choice. So you can either keep the legs out in front, we're folding over the legs, both legs extended. Or if you're more comfortable to, bring the soles of the feet together and drop the body into a cobbler position instead. So if you want to ease off the hamstrings, you'd rather have a hip opener, you could land here. If you like a straight legged forward fold, little softness through the knees, fold belly to thighs, let the head drop forward. Whichever option you take, let the head drop, let the spine gently round. We're folding inwards, but the eyes can be closed anyway. You have the legs straight, your breath will be a little bit more into the back body, maybe a little rise and fall as you breathe. If you have cobbler pose, you can send the breath into the hips as well as into the back. From there, pick yourself up nice and slowly. Ease yourself in so that you're in a position to roll down to your mat. So keep it nice and easy, lift through the heart, but then just roll through the spine. That's it, bring yourself down to the mat, hug the knees in. Take a little gentle rock side to side. Keeping the knees in towards the chest, open the arms out to the sides like a T. And you're just going to drop the knees over to the right hand side, keep them lifting a little bit. As the legs come to settle, notice what this left shoulder does. Try and drop it back down to the floor. Maybe take the gaze to look over towards the left hand. And slowly gaze back to center. A little bit of pressure down into the tips of the fingers that you can lift the legs back through center. Take a breath in at the top. As you breathe out, knees go over to the left. Again, drop that right shoulder down as you land. Maybe take the gaze over to the right. Lift the gaze back through center, pick the legs up nice and slowly, finishing at the top, hug the knees in or take a happy baby. And then release the feet, bring them down to the mat. When they get there, take the feet nice and wide, almost off your mat. Let the knees fall in together. For a final few breaths, we're going to warm the hands. And then drop them over the eyes. Feel the heat from the hands into the face, but also the heat from the body into the hands. Allow your focus to be towards that space between the eyebrows. And then from there, your option is to bring the hands down to heart and to belly, or to the floor beside you. And your legs can stay bent, or they can extend away into full Shavasana. Take a few audible breaths where your exhalation you can hear. Allow the noise to help you release any remaining tension through the shoulders, through the neck. When you next breathe in, take a fuller breath and sigh it away through the mouth. Big exhale. Start to return awareness back into your physical body. Take small movements through fingers and toes. Gradually reawakening. When you feel ready to start to bring yourself back, joining me back in a seated, upright position. But keep the eyes closed. Keep the visual input to a minimum and just be aware of the stillness and space in the mind, as well as the body. Keep that sense of stillness with you as you move away from your mats. So closing and sealing our practice, we take that final breath in, reaching the arms up above the head. Bringing palms together and touching thumbs to the forehead for kind thoughts, to the lips for kind words, and the heart for kind actions. Thank you all for joining. Namaste.